I understand that I live in a society that is constantly seeking to separate me from my money, and I would like to have a better awareness of my half of that relationship. Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. A few weeks ago, I shared that I was going to be practicing a no-buy period where I did not buy anything in the categories of makeup, perfume, skincare, or clothing for a full 6 months, starting February 1, 2020 and going until July 31. I'm only a couple of weeks into this, and I didn't think I would feel the need to do a check-in so soon. I figured I would do it at the end of the first month. But it's been going on just long enough that I thought it was worthwhile to record some of my kind of immediate experiences and responses to this change in behavior. I thought this might be worthwhile because a lot of you expressed in the comments that you understood where I was coming from and kind of felt a similar urge. And so I just thought it would be worthwhile to share sort of some of the things that I've been doing. First, I don't really want to get started without first talking about Snoop's outfit at the Super Bowl halftime show. Can we just have one moment, please? I graduated from high school in 1996, and I have a deep love and affection for Snoop Dogg. I just want to put that down. That's a thing. It's only enriched with time, especially considering his friendship, ongoing business partnership with Martha Stewart, who is also someone that I admire greatly. So it's getting deeper and more refined over time, the way I feel about Snoop. So I was very excited to see the halftime show, and I was delighted by his outfit. I've talked on my channel a little bit about fashion. Fashion is something that I actually kind of care a lot about. I'm not a huge fashionista always myself, but I am very interested in the garment industry and the history of it and the way that meaning can telegraph through clothing and attire. And I just thought Snoop's I'm gonna call it a tracksuit. It's a sweatsuit, but it's clearly this fabulous custom garment that was made for him in both the Rams colors and then also with a bandana print, which is connected to his entire life and lifestyle, life history. And I think it was a major fashion moment that represented, I think, decades and decades of work and change and understanding. I'm not sure I have all the words to express kind of the depth of what I'm feeling, but to see the way that Snoop was discussed when he was fresh on the scene to many decades later as a mature person, reveling in a lot of the same sort of signifiers and images and identifications, but in a way that now we receive differently as a culture. I thought it was just an excellent outfit, and I thought also Snoop looked exactly like Snoop. It didn't look like the stylists got him, you know what I mean? It seemed like it was still like, this is Snoop in control of what he looks like. It really, really did it for me and energized me in a way I haven't been able to stop talking about. It's been a complete week since I saw that outfit, and I'm still glowing about it. It was, I think, so far one of the major fashion moments in calendar year 2022. Bravo, Snoop. And so Snoop inspired me to go into my scarf collection and pull out a cotton bandana. This one I purchased at Detroit is the New Black, and I will leave a link to their site down below. Okay, my no buy started 2 weeks ago, and I'm proud to say, of course, I have bought nothing. That is something that it's not been hard for me at all. I've kind of surprised myself, so it's been easy, I will say, to not buy anything. I feel very committed, and I'm excited to kind of have this period of time where I am not spending. My experience during the global pandemic is one that is very fortunate and privileged. I remained employed throughout the pandemic, and I worked from home. So between canceling all of my salon appointments, never going to the nail shop for a mani or a pedi, canceling all of our trips, and no longer eating out at restaurants or going to cocktail lounges, that type of thing after work, my husband and I noticed really quite quickly how much money was going out the door without us really having awareness of it, because our lifestyle was a certain way and the pace went a certain way and the spending went along with that. Once that all stopped, we had a much clearer picture of the waste. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Looking back, I don't regret everything. The trips were great, all of this stuff, but I do think there are certain things that I used to do that were wasteful and I don't want to do going forward. I actually found myself with more money on hand than I'd had in a while. I think a lot of people had this experience too. I know not everyone did, but I don't think I was alone. And I know I've been reading articles about like the increased savings in America, so I think I'm sort of just part of that trend. Well, I was still shopping a lot online though. The sales were really good, and there was part of me that felt like a weird scarcity mindset that, these things that are available currently in the stores, who knows about the supply chain? Who knows about the future of cashmere? This sweater right here is available and it's on sale. I bought several cashmere sweaters during the coronavirus pandemic, mostly because the prices were really good. So I turned into this kind of like shark a little bit. I actually found that this like kind of shark-like hunting shopping behavior engaged, and I was looking for really high quality goods at a deep discount. So I found myself sucked into the Saks app over the last 2 weeks, specifically around their Valentine's capsule. Like a lot of shopping apps, Saks always has like a guide to what they've got on sale and kind of presents a point of view, and you can kind of see what's new and what looks good. I'm a pretty serious girly girl and I like dressing up, and so I really wanted to see the Valentine's Day date night options. I really wanted to see like dresses and heels and things, and I found them here. And so one of the things that happened to me, I can say, kind of akin to the Snoop tracksuit moment, I saw a couple of things in that capsule that got my little fashion heart racing in a way that was like I could feel an adrenaline. I could feel a physical body reaction to a couple of items here, and it was notable. It was something that I couldn't recall noticing before, but I'm certain I felt before, like this panicky feeling. I've even talked about it on my channel. When I was reviewing the Shu Uemura shampoos, I mentioned that I meant to buy the purple one, but I bought the clear one accidentally because I was shopping during the Sephora 20% off sale, and I talk about how I felt panicked and didn't notice that I was buying the clear one and not the purple one. So this is definitely a physical feeling I've experienced in the past, but I was never really aware of it until this time. So let me just show you a couple of things that got my heart racing, because they really are special and I love them. So one of the items that got my heart absolutely pounding is this Dolce & Gabbana button-down corset shirt. It's $1,795, which is outside of my budget. But honestly, if I were to spend less during the course of the year, like spend less wastefully, this is something that I could save up and buy if I wanted to. I don't know that I could bring myself to spend almost $2,000 on a white shirt, knowing my luck with white shirts. I saw the shirt and my heart started thumping. It both felt like something very fresh that I hadn't seen before, but also something that I had seen before. Like the idea of this corset, which I love a corset moment, with the button-down shirt. I love a button-down shirt as well. Together in a crisp white cotton. I think it's beautiful, feminine and sexy, and also edgy and luxe. It's everything. I'm looking at it again and I'm having the same response. This is something my fantasy self would wear. I cannot wear this to the office. I could not wear this to a meal lest I would spoil it immediately. This is something that I would wear in my dreams. This designer luxury shirt gave my body a chemical and physical response, or my body created one in response to this that gripped me, and I felt like a need to have the shirt. And one of my first thoughts was, I hope this is replicated soon in a budget point that I can afford, because this is perfection. And I don't know how well you could do something like this at a lower price point. This is one of those things where I can almost say the $17.95 is likely pretty close to justify. This looks like a complex garment, and it's exquisite. I nearly lost my mind over this shirt, I have to tell you. This is the next piece that got my heart thumping. Look at this. This is from Alice and Olivia. It's a sweater dress with black bows in front. This dress, I felt the same clutch, like, ugh! Oh my God, look at this thing. I love this as well. Let me tell you what I love about it. I do love a classic moment in wardrobe, and I like this sweater dress. There's something very posh and familiar about it. I know I grew up with blankets made in this particular knit pattern with these balls on it, so there's something about it that feels very innocent and homespun. And in this color pink, it's just the perfect 1950s Venetian pink, like the bathroom fixtures. It's that perfect Mamie Eisenhower pink. And those big black bows to me feel like, they almost feel like they're trying to be Parisian. Help me if I'm right about this, but there's something about this that feels very Paris gamine. And I looked at this picture first and I thought, am I wrong? Is this not everything? And then I swiped and I saw the way that they were styling it, and I realized that, yes, of course, I knew exactly what I was looking at. This is something that when I was a teenager, I would have run to this dress. I wouldn't have been able to afford this particular dress at the time, but had I been able to find something like this, especially the way they've styled it with these particular like heavy metal kind of boots. These are the types of boots I wore when I was that age, and I would have loved a dress like this. This is still something that I would love to have. I honestly just don't know how much wear I would get out of it, but I was super, super energized by this and excited to see that this was available right now. I hope that it has some kind of like a connection to styles that we'll see coming up in the future, because I really like this vibe. I'm into it. On the same corset vibe, there's this other piece from Cami NYC. They make really beautiful silk camis. I have one in a brilliant emerald blue, sapphire blue. Anyway, they're a good company. I like the quality of that cami. And so there's also this really lovely corset bodysuit with sort of the sheer details. I like the price of this. $330 is something that puts it in range where I would actually start to think that maybe this is something that I might wear. And once I get to the point where I'm strongly considering it, then that's when I start to think about the outfits and the occasions. This would be kind of a rare item, but I do think the styling of it is, it could last more than one season. I don't feel like it's too of the moment. These types of corset items are perennial. I like the sheer detailing. I do think that the neckline right now, that squarish neckline, is a bit of a moment. I love it because that's a neckline that really works for me. And I can tell you the old me might have already cut into that box and put it in her drawer. I like this piece a lot. And this last item from Saks, I feel confident that had I not been on a no buy, that this would have been something I would have purchased. This is the silk cami from Lexi. I've never bought anything from Lexi before. Have you? Is anyone familiar with that brand? I will say that this is exactly my type of thing. I do love a silk cami. I wear them constantly, and something like this, if it's well made and it is 100% silk, if it's of a good quality, I can keep a cami like this nice for a decade. So I love this one, and I hope that it's going to be available after my no buy is over. I hope it's still here. I love the navy background. I wear a ton of navy, and I do like these florals. Correct me if I'm wrong, they look like damask roses. It's very beautiful, and I know that if I bought this cami that I would wear it all the time. And I also know for $170 over time, this would be one of those items that would absolutely be a low cost per wear item, just based on my history with loving silk camis. Versus the other items that I shared really felt more like special. Maybe you'd wear them once or twice or something like that, and you would have a very high cost per wear. This one I feel like has my name written all over it. Okay, so I saved all of these items on the Saks app at the same moment, right? Like I went into the app, I went in, and I had this moment. I can tell you about this. I had a moment where I thought, it's okay, go ahead and look at Saks. You know you want to. I had the desire to go look at the Saks app. I realized how much pleasure and excitement I get from looking at the Saks app. It's like, go ahead, you deserve it, go ahead and look. By opening the app and going through that capsule, it gave me the old familiar thrill of shopping. But I didn't buy any of these things. All of the dollars I have are still in my bank account, and none of these things are coming through the air in a box to me right now. And it's okay, because I can tell you I have many beautiful silk camis. I won't miss this one, even though I really do like it. The sheer bodysuit is really great. I'm thinking about that one. But honestly, that's the type of purchasing I've done a lot of, which is sort of this like fantasy me, sort of special occasion. Oh, but at the same time, I always seem to have what I need when I need to go out. So I'm not gonna diss on that either. But I can say that when I closed the app down and put my phone away, I kind of realized what was happening. I was just like adding all of these things to my wish list. I put that phone down, and I kind of checked in with my body, and I was like, wow, like my heart rate felt elevated. I felt a little bit of like some sort of a chemical response sort of pumping me up. And I noticed my head was almost spinning. It took me a minute to kind of calm down, and I realized, this is a state that you have been getting into over the years, again and again and again, only completing the moment with shopping, like clicking and spending and getting. And this time I went through that whole ride and then left it aside. And I think that's important. I think it's important that I have that experience kind of early on so that I can start to maybe change some behaviors. But I was surprised by how exhilarated and engaged I was by flipping through that Valentine's Day capsule on Saks, which they really did a good job. I don't know if any of you out there work for Saks or know anybody, but I just really think they're doing a great job on their app. Kind of as an aside, I have a very close friend who just retired from a career at Saks, and he shared with me how they are adjusting to, like, how their bricks and mortar stores are adjusting to the new model. And I can see they put a lot of thought into it, and I can see that reflected in the app. It's a very engaging experience. Good job, Saks. Sticking with clothes for a second, do a lot of you get catalogs in the mail? It's weird. I've done enough shopping now, especially during this time, where I think I'm on some list. Somehow somebody knows me and is starting to send me catalogs I was unaware of before. And one of the ones that I started getting that I end up liking a lot is Garnet Hill. I feel like Garnet Hill is the ultimate kind of like middle class ladies sort of jam. It has beautiful bedding and towels, like these are beautiful bath sheets, and then it has like clothing and stuff on the inside. And one of the things, like when I first saw this, I was like, I don't really know if I'm a Garnet Hill customer. And then I was flipping through it and I was like, this is maybe the only place I'm ever going to buy clothes again. And the reason why I say that, it's not, but it's a place that you can still get natural fibers. And I'm a natural fibers person. So I find that when I flip through this, I can find cotton, linen, silk, wool in basics in good colors. I feel like that used to be the role that J. Crew played in my life, and after they let go of Jenna Lyons and went down this path that they're on currently, it's no longer a shop that really speaks to me. I hate to say that, it breaks my heart. Actually, it like breaks my heart. We can talk about J. Crew another time. Let me know if you want me to say more about that, because I sure can. Garnet Hill, I'm finding, is like a catalog that I like to look through, and so I actually, like, when this came, I set it aside for a minute and I thought, I'm gonna sit down and like chill with a Garnet Hill catalog. But just to put it in context, I feel like Garnet Hill is like the real me. It kind of pains me to say it, but like the Saks app and that Valentine's Day sort of capsule, that's my fantasy me, right? That's like me walking into a restaurant and blowing the doors open and having everybody turn and snap and say, who's that woman in that corset, white button-down shirt and trousers with high heels? I want that moment for myself. But the reality is that a lot of the time I'm kind of like doing this a little bit more. I just am. And I like, Garnet Hill is kind of like the part of me that I sink into myself to say, like, let's be real. Let's look at some things that we might actually want. And I want to show you the things that really stuck out to me. So this one, I'm just showing you this like catalog here, but this is just a shirt. It's an essential organic cotton shirt. It sells for $69 and it comes in these colors up here. I think this shirt just looks absolutely fantastic. I like that it's 100% cotton. I think that if I'd probably get the navy one with the little Swiss dots, or what do they call them, sea dots, and maybe the pink one. It seems like a nice shirt that you could just have all summer, and like this model is wearing it with a pair of shorts and a little scarf to go do things. That looks like my life, and I like this shirt, and $69 for a cotton shirt really feels great. Actually feels like kind of like a good buy. So the part of me, that is I'm still trying to fix, saw that and thought, I'm gonna need 3. The truth is I absolutely do not need 3. If I were really to buy any one of these and have it be additive to my wardrobe, it would be the white one. I actually don't have a casual white button front shirt that I could just throw on, and I think that would be an incredible addition to my wardrobe. I think the other ones would maybe be repeats of things I have. Really nice to have and like no regrets if I had them, but I can see how the old me used to overspend. The other thing I saw that felt like an almost inevitable purchase for me is this cashmere polo long sleeve sweater in navy. That's exactly the color I would buy. This is so me, I can't even tell you. With this like no buttons, kind of just open, I would wear this, and the way they have her styled with the kind of, big sunglasses and the bandana, like this is me. I would wear this, I would absolutely wear this outfit. And what I realized is that even though I don't have this exact sweater, I do have like lots of other really nice navy blue sweaters and white pants and a bandana and some pretty good sunglasses. I could absolutely dupe this outfit with what I have in my closet, and I think I intend to. So I'm glad I looked at this because I felt like this sort of seemed like something, I could use to remind me of what I have. And finally, the last thing that I saw that I liked was this, just this look, this silk skirt. This is actually polyester, and then a cashmere top with a jean jacket and these little sneaks. I thought this looked like a really cute outfit and something that I would wear. And where I live, I'm in Michigan, and the spring can be kind of long, and there can be a lot of days where this type of dressing is really realistic. And I realized that, I in fact have, not in these tones, but I have a longer pleated skirt. It's really part of a dress. But the dress is fine, it's silk, and I could throw a sweater on top of that and kind of recreate this look too. So I was excited to see this as well. So I don't know what to say. Like I'm finding that I still want to shop. I want to look. I want to open the app. I want to open the catalog. I want to look at the pictures and see if something appeals and if there's something there that I want. I'm going to be interested to see how strong that impulse is as these months go on. But 2 weeks in, I gotta tell you, it's actually pretty strong. The shopping impulse is very strong. It's so strong that in fact, even back to mid-January, which is when I decided I would do this no buy, since then I have added 34 items to my loves list at Sephora. I have gone onto the Sephora app and moved items into my loves list 34 times since I decided I was going to stop shopping. I haven't bought anything. That part hasn't been hard, but the urge to actively shop as entertainment is strong. It is strong 2 weeks in, and all I can say is that I'm aware of it for the first time, and I am observing it. I'm not beating myself up. I'm not forcing myself to stop. But I am, every time I do it, giving myself a moment to reflect, to say, what was that? Like, we already agreed we're not buying anything. Why are you shopping? What was that? And I'm really not beating myself up about it. I'm just trying to seek awareness. I understand that I live in a society that is constantly seeking to separate me from my money. And I would like to have a better awareness of my half of that relationship. I'll be sharing updates like this throughout the next 6 months. Also, keep a lookout for videos where I share the products that I used up, where I enjoy the products that I already have, and just whatever else comes up in this vein. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Talk soon.